Hi, my name is Ronnie Davila, and first I'm going to start off by showing you my audience. Now I'm going to show you my note cards. Martin Luther King Day is a day that we can all remember celebrating ever since we were young. But do you ever wonder why we celebrate Martin Luther King Day? Today I will be using information that I found off of Britannica.com, Wikipedia.org, and Biography.com to teach you some interesting facts about Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King's original name was Michael King Jr. He was born January 15, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia, and he was assassinated April 4, 1968 in Memphis, Tennessee. According to Claiborne Carson of Britannica.com, King came from a middle-class family. Both his father and maternal grandfather were both Baptist preachers, and both of King's parents were college educated. King's father succeeded his father-in-law as pastor of the prestigious Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia. And King's family lived on Auburn Avenue, also known as Sweet Auburn, the bustling Black Wall Street, home to some of the country's largest and most prosperous black businesses and black churches in the years before the Civil Rights Movement. I would have to say that Martin Luther King was very smart and ambitious. According to Wikipedia.org, in 1942, when King was just 13 years old, King became the youngest assistant manager to work for a newspaper delivery station called the Atlanta Journal. That year, King would skip the 9th grade and enter into Booker T. Washington High School, where he maintained a B+ average. According to Claiborne Carson of Britannica.com, in 1944, when King was just 15 years old, King entered Morehouse College. King entered this college on a special wartime program intended to boost enrollment by admitting promising young high school students like King. But before King started college, he spent his summer on a small tobacco farm in Connecticut. King was shocked at how peacefully the races mixed in the North. This experience only deepened King's growing hatred for racial segregation. According to Wikipedia.org, King also played football for Morehouse College, and the summer before King graduated college in 1947, King decided that he was going to enter the ministry when he was just 18 years old. From that point, King's life in theology would begin. According to Wikipedia.org, King would enroll in Crozer Theological Seminary in Upland, Pennsylvania. King's father supported his decision to enroll. So King's father arranged for King to work with J. Pius Barber, who was a family friend that pastored at Calvary Baptist Church. King would become known as one of the Sons of Calvary. According to Biography.com editors, at age 25 in 1954, when King was 25, he would become the pastor of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. According to Biography.com editors, while King was working on his doctorate, King met a woman by the name of Coretta Scott, who was an aspiring young singer and musician. King and Coretta would get married and have 4 kids. Then, June 5, 1955, King would receive his PhD degree. Then came the Montgomery bus boycott. According to Biography.com editors, on March 2, 1955, a young 15-year-old girl was arrested for refusing to give up her seat for a white man on a Montgomery City bus. Then December 1, 1955, a woman by the name of Rosa Parks was also arrested for refusing to give up her seat for a white man. That night, the NAACP met with King and several other civil rights leaders to plan the Montgomery bus boycott. King would be elected to lead the boycott because he was well-trained and had solid family connections. After being defeated in court and suffering large financial losses, the city of Montgomery decided to lift the law that mandated segregated public transportation. After this came the famous letter from the Birmingham jail in 1963. According to Biography.com editors, King wrote a letter from the Birmingham jail in 1963 after he was arrested after he organized a demonstration that would ask for peaceful change. But according to Biography.com editors, this event drew nationwide attention. But King was criticized by both black and white clergymen that were in attendance of the event because he endangered children that were in the attendance of the event. In this letter from the Birmingham jail, King would state his theory of nonviolence. Then came the famous I Have a Dream speech, 1963. According to Biography.com editors, after the campaign in Birmingham, King and his followers would plan another campaign in Birmingham, Alabama. This campaign, this historic march drew over 200,000 people. It was there, in the shadow of the Lincoln Memorial, that King would deliver his famous I Have a Dream speech. This famous speech emphasized King's belief that someday all men could be brothers. According to Biography.com editors, this speech resulted in the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. So as you can see, Martin Luther King's intelligence, his ambition, his strong family background with his strong theological background paved the way for African American community today. Martin Luther King, the Baptist minister, the social activist who led the civil rights movement, was a strong and powerful, influential leader of the African American community. Thank you very much, and let me show you my audience one more time.